Y'all know how the old saying goes, what's delayed is not denied. Here's a list of some notable names that didn't hear their name get called on draft day. When I think about that old saying, I can't help but to think about Jalen Sherrod. On draft day last year, she probably had a party at her house on draft night waiting to hear her name, and she never did. But that wasn't the end of her story. She would end up getting a call from New York and a training camp invite. She would go on to join the New York Liberty team and stay the whole season and win a WNBA championship, all in her rookie year. The biggest snub of the night is by far Diamond Johnson. She played in the ACC, the Big Ten, and the MEAC, and was good in every single conference. Her last stop was in the MEAC at Norfolk State, and I'm having a very hard time believing that she's not being penalized for going to a HBCU. Let's go over some Diamond Johnson facts. We all talk about this legendary 2020 freshman class because of the top 5 players. But who is number 6? That's right, Diamond Johnson. And she came into college ranked amongst the best. All right, let's mark off who's in the league, and let's check all the players that got drafted the other night. I cannot believe they snubbed Diamond like that. What makes it worse for me is that she was one of 20 top players that was chosen to play in a senior all-star game. This was a week before the draft, and a lot of these players had their name in the hat to be selected on draft day. 6 players from this All-Star game got selected in the WNBA Draft, and none of the 6 were the MVP of that game. The MVP of that game was Diamond Johnson. How is Diamond Johnson the MVP of the Senior College All-Star game, and she don't get a single team to draft her on draft night? It just don't make sense to me. And I feel bad for her because I know she had a draft party and her birthday was the very next day. And I know that kind of ruined her birthday. It ain't right. It sucks. I would love to see you in the WNBA one day, Diamond. Remember, it's delayed, not denied. This is another name I was shocked that I didn't hear. Deja Kelly. She did 4 years at North Carolina, then she transferred to Oregon.
I do play basketball at the University of Oregon now as a grad student, grad transfer. I graduated from UNC back in May. I was there for all 4 years. For those that say I just up and left or left after 1 year is kind of crazy and kind of slow because I literally was there for 4 years, graduated, all the good thing. To those that say, why did you leave UNC? You were doing so well there. 100%. I had a phenomenal 4 years there. I was all league, all first team, all 4 years. I led us to 4 NCAA tournaments. I was a big part that the program is back on the national stage. And I ultimately just carried that program on my back for 4 years in the most humble way. I feel like sometimes there gets to a point where you outgrow your environment, you outgrow the people that you were around, and there's nothing wrong with that, which ultimately led to my decision to transfer. I am big on looking ahead, and for me, with this being my last year, I'm granted a chance to continue to grow my game, get better. My ultimate goal is to get drafted and make a roster in the WNBA.
Another reason why she chose Oregon is because it allowed her the opportunity to pursue broadcasting, and being there positioned her to be able to broadcast the men games. Even her numbers at Oregon were overall better. In her last year at Oregon, she had a career high in defensive rebounds and total rebounds. She also improved in assists, steals, turnovers, and field goal percentages. And that still wasn't enough to get drafted. I felt so bad for her too, because she was actually at the game. Draft. This is her on the orange carpet before the actual draft. This is a TikTok that she posted recently.
Not my dream. That's been a dream of mine to play in the WNBA since I was a little girl. Really just it'll be a surreal moment for me when I hear my name called.
And she said, when I hear my name called, it won't no ifs about it. And I know she was very confident that her name would be called because she's been on the draft boards for the last couple of years now. So I already know she was devastated. These two became victims of basketball politics. Where you play at matters. For whatever reason, Diamond Johnson didn't get the credit she deserved because she played for HBCU. And Deja Kelly got overlooked because she plays at Oregon. Oregon women basketball is a program with rich history. But the last few years, Kelly Graves has run all of his players away. So I don't think any of the scouts or any of the teams have really been looking his way when it comes to players that they may want. I can name y'all at least 2 people right now that Deja Kelly should have got drafted over. I can name you at least 5 that Diamond Johnson should have got drafted over. At least. But I also understand that this was a guard-heavy draft, so that didn't help either one of them either. In regards to the WNBA, delayed, not denied, goes for everyone except you. Sedona Prince, you are denied. No, you cannot collect $200. Go straight to jail.
Off the court has faced assault accusations from 4 women since 2019, has denied those allegations, has not been charged with a crime. Our reporting confirms, though, this is something that teams were looking at.
accused of abusing 4 different women is just criminal. I don't have anything else to say to this. I want to stop now before I get ignorant. I'm just happy that no WNBA team called her name. But anyway, for all of the players whose name didn't get called, please think about Jalen Sherrod's story. Just keep working. Your time will come. So if you're a fan of someone still waiting to get a training camp invite, don't give up. Unless you are a fan of Sedona's, of course.